Well, this is absolutely massive. It seems like the rumor mill continues to spin and spin and spin, and Lego and Marvel really are going big in 2023. Besides the fact that we know that there will be at least 30 sets releasing for Lego Marvel in 2023, we also now have the rumor of a returning theme of sets, and that would be the Lego minifigures Marvel Studios Series 2. Now, of course, if you don't know, Lego Marvel Studios Series 1 was a massive, massive success. It contained 12 characters, all based on Disney Plus shows for Marvel, and it sold exceptionally well. In fact, I would argue that in the last few years, it is the one minifigure wave that I did not see readily available on store shelves. Every other wave of minifigures, I feel like I would always see in the checkout lane in most big box stores. This was one that was very, very difficult to come by, and it is one of the few that has continued to maintain its price quite well going forward. Well, it seems like Lego took notice of that and is doubling down and will be releasing a second series in September. Now, to give you guys a little bit more context here, if you don't know, at the very start of the year, we will see the release of a Lego minifigure series number 24. Then in the spring season, I guess, we are rumored to be getting the Lego Disney 100-year anniversary celebration wave. So that will be our first themed wave. And then in September or the fall, for our third minifigure wave of the year, it will indeed be Marvel Studios Series 2. Now, of course, this is unbelievably exciting because this opens up the possibility for a lot of really cool characters that we would never see actually released as sets or parts of sets released in a wide release, where you don't have to, for example, go on ahead and buy a $400 set like the Daily Bugle to get access to some of these iconic characters. Now, there is a bit of a caveat here. First and foremost, this is a rumor. It is not full outright confirmed by Lego quite yet. In addition to that, of course, the other caveat is that this will most likely be another wave based on Disney Plus releases from Marvel Studios, which means that if you're more of a comic book fan, you might be a little disappointed here because these designs are most likely going to be based on the actual MCU versions of these characters and not comic book variants. Now, with all that technical stuff out of the way, there is one more caveat to discuss because this will also be the first Lego Marvel minifig wave that will actually be releasing in boxes. If you don't know, Lego is going through with the initiative of reducing their pollution, and therefore they will not be putting the minifigs in blind bags anymore, and instead we'll be putting them in cardboard boxes. Now, this obviously also takes away the ability to actually hold the minifigs in hand before buying them, feeling the bags and figuring out which minifig is inside, which is something that a lot of people utilized before in order to make sure that you don't get a whole lot of duplicates. And in addition to that, it was just a thing that was kind of popular in the community. Now that will be going away. I'm very curious to see if they will run into any problems with this particular release type, because of course, one of the big things we've seen with companies like Hasbro and their Marvel Legends line is people stealing the figures and then going on ahead and returning them to stores. B, people taking out the figures and putting a different figure inside and returning them to stores. And then, of course, in addition to all of that, there's been a lot of quality control problems. Because of the fact that they are in boxes, they will be getting bashed around against the boxes, and oftentimes you could get actually damaged product from the box itself. Now, will Lego have the same problems? I don't know. I guess time will tell, and we'll see how rampant of an issue any of these things might become. Now, beyond all this mumbo jumbo, let's talk about the exciting stuff, and that is, what could we possibly see in this wave? Because I think there's some really cool possibilities that they could go with. In fact, I came up with 12 minifigs that I would like to see, and I challenge you to let me know down in the comment section below the 12 characters that you would like to see. Now, once again, let's put some limitations on it and say that these minifigs do have to be based on Disney Plus. And with that in mind, let's dive on in. First and foremost, I'm going to kick things off with Ms. Marvel. I think this one's an absolute no-brainer. Ms. Marvel, of course, was one of the starring characters in this last wave of Disney Plus shows, so I think that it is almost a lock that she would be getting a minifig in this wave. Next one up is going to be Hawkeye, Kate Bishop, and the critical element with this character will be the fact that we must, and I repeat, we must get Pizza Dog. It is an absolute must. In fact, the Pizza Dog is more, you know what? I'm going to reverse it. It's Pizza Dog and Kate Bishop. That's how I'm going to say it. So they better include that in this release. And I know I'm going to shock some people, but that's the only character that I want to see from the Hawkeye show. And the reason for that is because we've already gotten so many releases of Hawkeye himself. I don't really need Clint Barton's Hawkeye to be in this wave. I think they will include him, but I would much prefer to give that spot to another character that we have not seen. So that's just my personal preference. Next, we're going to talk Moon Knight. And this is where people are probably going to get triggered because I picked a lot of characters from the Moon Knight show because I think that Moon Knight would work really well in minifigure format. So first and foremost, we have Moon Knight himself. That's a no-brainer. Include that. Then I would also like to see Mr. Knight. I think, again, it's a different enough outfit. It's a different enough design that it could work really well as a separate release. Then we obviously need the Scarlet Scarab to be included as well. So that is now 3 characters that will be occupying from the Moon Knight show. And that is not all, because I also do want to see Khonshu appear in this wave as well, particularly if they could use the longer legs that they've utilized for the Lego Avatar minifigures. I think if they use that for a Khonshu minifig, that could be an all-time great release. So I would love to see that happen. So next, we're going to travel a little bit back in time to the Falcon and the Winter Soldier show, and we're going to see a release from US Agent. I think that's the one character that they did not release in the first wave that was missing, so I wouldn't mind if they included it, particularly because we know that this character will be once again appearing in Thunderbolts, so why not go on ahead and give us a release for that character as well. So the next couple of picks here are probably going to be somewhat controversial, or at least one of them will be, and that will be She-Hulk. I think that She-Hulk, the show itself, sucks, but again, it is a very, very prominent character, so she will be included in this particular set, and I think that they could actually do a pretty good job of making a cool-looking minifig. But the more exciting character that could appear from the She-Hulk show would, of course, be Daredevil. Before this, the only way to get Daredevil into your collection officially, without obviously buying like knockoffs or anything like that, would be to buy the Daily Bugle. And that's a very expensive set, so many people don't actually have a Daredevil in their collection. Now, yes, I'm aware this will most definitely be an MCU Daredevil or a She-Hulk Daredevil, which means that we're probably not even going to get the red costume, and instead we're going to see the yellow suit Daredevil. But I don't mind that. I think that that costume actually did look pretty cool. Of course, I would much prefer if they went with the red costume. However, the red costume I feel like is more associated with the Netflix show, and that show is far more mature than what the She-Hulk show was. So I think that because of that, I think Lego will most likely, if they do include Daredevil, would go with the yellow costume that appeared in the She-Hulk TV show. All right, so that leaves us with 3 more characters to go. And the next ones up are going to be from What If. Now, I feel like some people are not going to pick this one, but I do think that Lego will release this one, and that is Zombie Iron Man. Iron Man is one of the most commonly released minifigs from Lego. In fact, I would probably argue that in the last like 5 to 10 years, it is probably right up there with Spider-Man as the single most likely character to get a release. And so I feel like they will probably go on ahead and give us Zombie Iron Man. We got Zombie Captain America in the first wave, so I think it'd be actually kind of cool to get another zombie-themed character from Marvel's What If Zombies theme. So I think this would be a really cool addition here. So I don't actually mind getting another zombified or Marvel zombie character. And I just think out of the lineup that I could think of, I think that after Cap, I feel like Iron Man is kind of the next no-brainer. Brain. And no pun intended there. And the next character from What If that I would pick is actually the one and only The Watcher. I don't think that we would get The Watcher in any other set like ever. And so because of that, I really like to use the Lego minifigure waves as kind of a way to release some characters that we would never actually see otherwise. And I think the Watcher would be such a cool addition if they went ahead and maybe utilized like a headpiece, kind of like maybe the Thanos Big Fig head, but on a minifigure scale body. They could kind of get that effect of the larger head for the Watcher. And I just think that it would be such a cool character to include in this particular wave. And finally, for the last character, I'm definitely cheating here because I said that all the characters have to be based on the Disney Plus shows, but I gotta go with Stan Lee. I think that it is kind of crazy, almost criminal, really, the fact that Lego has not actually released a Stan Lee minifigure in all these years. I mean, we've seen Marvel Legends do it, we've seen Sideshow Collectibles do it, we've seen all these other major companies like Hot Toys go on ahead and release statues, action figures, and any other collectible for Stan Lee, but we have never actually gotten Stan Lee in the Lego format. I would love to see that happen, particularly because, again, by releasing it as part of this particular minifigure wave, you're making it accessible to anyone to go on ahead and add to their collection. And I think it would be a really great kind of homage to Stan the Man Lee. Excelsior to you all. Thank you guys so very much for watching today's video. I hope you all enjoyed. Happy New Year. And I'll catch you all in 2023. Peace out. See you later, alligators.